if he wants to make some money, Floyd wants to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight
your guy Jake Paul.
No, with him too, but he could fight the Wonder guy. Not Manny Pacquiao. I'm gonna fight him again. But I'm talking about not Canelo, like Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
You can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side.
He miss, and because his range control is so good, he's in. His nickname's the cat. He's in like a cat, and he is so accurate with what he's doing. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science. It is the art of getting hit.
Mike Tyson didn't mince words when asked about a hypothetical fight between Floyd Mayweather and Oleksandr Usyk. Speaking with Shaquille O'Neal on his podcast, Tyson said bluntly that Usyk would destroy Floyd. He criticized Mayweather for earning heavyweight-level money without ever taking heavyweight-level risks. According to Tyson, Floyd only steps back into the ring when there's a lucrative, low-risk opportunity, and he would never accept a real challenge like facing Usyk.
I'm going with heavyweight.
Right. Yeah, Floyd feels like in a different category.
He made heavyweight money, but I'm talking about the heavyweight struggle.
Yes. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the heavyweights.
Speaking of
No,
Floyd,
it's going to come back again. Always come back.
speaking of Floyd, him and Roy Jones been going back and forth. If they were to fight, give me your opinion on who you think would win and why. And would people want to see that fight now?
Well, listen, people are all going to hate on Floyd, so they will want to see the fight. They want to see Floyd get beat. But are they going to fight?
I know they're going back and forth.
I don't know. I don't think it would matter. If he wants to make some money, Floyd wants to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight
The guy Jake Paul.
no, with him too, but he could fight the Wonder guy. Not Manny Pacquiao. I'm gonna fight him again. But I'm talking about not Canelo, like Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
Oleksandr Usyk has reached a point in his career where his greatness is no longer in question. With an Olympic gold medal and wins over top-tier opponents, including 2 victories over Anthony Joshua, Usyk has already secured his legacy. He could walk away from the sport tomorrow, and his place in boxing history would still be secure. Yet, the speculation around who he'll fight next continues to fuel excitement in the boxing world.
Which he doesn't have to do probably because his legacy is secured. He's done basically everything in boxing. And if he was to retire tomorrow, or what could happen, which has been muted, that he was going to have the Dubois fight and then he was going to have a celebrity fight, you know, like crossover fight with the next MMA or something like that, which for me wouldn't be nice because I think it would cheapen his legacy in some way. But as Addy said, pounds and pence and dollars are what count in this game.
Andy, have you spoken, or has Spencer Brown or Frank spoken to you? Because to be fair to Frank, I've spoken to Frank twice since the fight, and he does always say it's Joseph Parker next, it's Joseph Parker next. And he says it with a bit of force as well, as though he's promised you guys that you will be next in line. Has there been a conversation with Frank as to what happens with Joseph? Because I almost feel sorry for Joseph now. It's got to the stage where every time I see Joseph, I'm like, okay, but when are you going to fight? When are you going to fight? And he has this face of, I don't know. And it's upsetting for me as well just to see him on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's very frustrating for him and for us as a team, but I had a brief conversation with Frank Warren as we were walking back from the ring. I said, it has to be Joe. He said, we're going to push for Joseph. And Spencer Brown, he said, we're going to push for Joseph. David Higgins, we're going to push for Joseph. But you can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side.
One name that's been circulating as a possible next opponent is Joseph Parker. While nothing has been confirmed, several heavyweights are eager for a shot at Usyk. Adding to the anticipation, Usyk has publicly stated he has only one fight left in him. That announcement has turned the question of who his final opponent will be into one of the sport's biggest current mysteries.
The will has to be on Usyk's side. The will for Joe is there. He'd fight anybody, and as he's shown. But the will has to be, and the want has to be on Usyk's team.
Put your fighter hat on for me if you can, Andy, again. I mean, I saw, it's funny because the video of Dubois getting knocked out, there's you and Joe in the background, and I can see both of your reactions. When you're watching that, I mean, again, you've seen some of the best heavyweights in the world. You've been in camp with some of the best heavyweights in the world. When you're watching that, are you watching it like myself and thinking, okay, this is an all-time great you're seeing?
First and foremost, I watched it as a fan and I enjoyed the fight. And I thought Dubois started really well. But there's something about Usyk, isn't it? Just this change. After round 1, round 2, Dubois was having some success, landing right hands.
Usyk's reputation isn't just built on talent, it's built on character. Unlike many fighters who delay negotiations or rely on media drama, Usyk is known for taking fights without hesitation. He doesn't play games, doesn't make excuses, and doesn't dodge challenges. When he agrees to a bout, he simply goes to work. His no-nonsense approach has earned him deep respect from fans, fellow fighters, and promoters alike.
The one thing I would say that we have to appreciate from Usyk is how he's so willingly down to fight anybody, right? Typically in boxing, you look at how boxing is structured. You have the Ali Act where a fighter could be like, nah, I don't want to fight him. Okay, we're going to strip you of your belt since you don't want to, defend that belt, right? How long does it take us to get a Gervonta Davis to fight, maybe a Devin Haney, or a Ryan Garcia fighting somebody else, right? It takes fucking forever. But now when it comes to Usyk, Usyk, he's a champion. Okay, your next title person you have to defend against is Dubois. Perfect. Send me the contract. I will be ready. You don't get that nowadays in boxing. You don't fucking get that. But when he fights, that's one thing I love about him.
Just beating Daniel Dubois in a rematch, the younger guy, and he's made it look easier against him and schooled him and destroyed him. That is the pinnacle of skill in boxing. That's the pinnacle of the fucking sport.
Becoming a 3-time undisputed champion across weight divisions is no accident, it's the result of relentless evolution. Usyk didn't just move up from cruiserweight to heavyweight, he transformed himself into a force capable of outboxing much larger opponents. His consecutive wins over Anthony Joshua proved that size doesn't matter when skill, discipline, and intelligence lead the way. Beyond the ring, Usyk paused his career to serve his country during wartime, a testament to his values and courage. Analysts now compare him to icons like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, not just for his record, but for his adaptability and heart. While his technical brilliance evokes comparisons to Floyd, his grit and fearlessness reflect the spirit of Manny. Usyk's unique combination of skill, humility, and bravery places him among the sport's all-time greats.
How high is Oleksandr Usyk all-time on the GOAT list? I've seen a lot of debate that he's top 5 already, top 10, shouldn't be in the top 10 yet. So here's my thoughts on it. I think you can put him anywhere from like number 4 to number 10 all-time. But he should definitely be in everyone's top 10. 2-division undisputed champion at cruiserweight and heavyweight, and he probably has the 2 best undisputed runs in the 4-belt era. At cruiserweight, he beat everyone in enemy territory: Glowacki in Poland, Briedis in Latvia, Gassiv in Russia, Bellew in the UK. At heavyweight, he beat all the Brits, mostly on enemy territory, twice. Joshua twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. Of that post-Mayweather-Pacquiao era, I think he's definitely the greatest. Now, I have Usyk number 8. For reference, I have Floyd 1, Manny 2, Ali 3, Robinson 4, Duran 5, Leonard 6, Roy Jones 7, and then Usyk at 8. I know there's a whole debate right now about Usyk and Ali. Of course, Usyk's more skilled than Ali, but I think Ali's resume is greater, which is why I have him higher. But I'm curious to know how high people have Usyk now all time, without recency bias.
Floyd Mayweather's legacy is built on careful calculation, both in and out of the ring. Analysts agree that Floyd only returns when the financial reward is high and the risk is minimal. He's known for selecting opponents strategically to protect his undefeated record. That approach has earned him staggering paydays, but also criticism for avoiding truly dangerous matchups. Unless he has full control over the terms and the opponent poses little threat, a return from Floyd seems unlikely. If he does come back, it will be strictly on his terms and strictly for the money.
Yeah, you're fighting the best fighter in the world, and you're figuring out a strategy of not how do I win, but how do I last.
Yeah, and that was the strategy. I had a good idea that I wasn't going to be able to knock him out.
No, but that's not the goal with a guy like that. No, but Floyd is the most precise, Floyd doesn't care who watches, who likes, it doesn't matter. Floyd only cares about the points. If the fight is entertaining, for him it's just a strategy. So he's kind of like the beast of fighting. You know, beast is like, how do I get the algorithm and the numbers?
100%.
That's how Floyd is.
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest.
Every
ever?
great fighter in the world says technically there's somebody better.
Yeah.
Every single.
Joe Rogan has long praised Floyd Mayweather's brilliance in the ring, particularly his defensive mastery. In one of his podcasts, Rogan explained that Floyd can stand directly in front of an opponent and still remain untouched. He doesn't need to dance around or throw flashy combinations. His shoulder rolls, precise timing, and subtle body movements make him nearly impossible to hit cleanly. Rogan noted that even when Floyd appears idle, he's mentally controlling the tempo of the fight. His defense, Rogan emphasized, is not just physical, it's psychological.
It's all like slight slips away, and it's slight motions, which is all you need to get away from a punch, right? You don't want to move too far. You're wasting a lot of energy and you can't counterattack. One of the best things about Floyd, and one of the most brilliant things about him, he's one of the most elusive fighters of all time, but he didn't move around. He stood right in front of you and you couldn't fucking hit him. That's true mastery of space and true mastery of technique. In my opinion, he's the best boxer that's ever lived.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not qualified to rank people, but I watched when he was making that ascent towards it, ended up being 50, you know.
He just fought last weekend, this weekend. Yeah, he fought a match against John Gotti's grandson, which is crazy.
That's scary for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons, right? This is the second time they fought. The first time they fought, it ended in a brawl. Like a bunch of people jumped in the ring. It was crazy because they stopped the fight because they were talking too much shit to each other and holding on to each other too much. So the referee stopped the fight for whatever reason, I don't know. And in this fight was even crazy too because the first referee was terrible. And the referee called said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. Absolutely incorrect call. Floyd threw a right hand and it caught him on the side of the head, and the referee claimed that it was behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Because he's the promoter. Also.
Well, I guess. I mean, also, it's Floyd Mayweather. Like, what's the referee going to do? Fuck you? You know, I'm going to stop the fight? Like, also, they're in Mexico City. Like, you can get killed. Like, just get out of the ring, buddy. So Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100%.
Boxing analyst Adam Catterall once likened Oleksandr Usyk's footwork to ballet, and the comparison is surprisingly fitting. Usyk moves with fluid grace, maintaining perfect balance while constantly shifting angles. His footwork disrupts opponents, making them look slow and uncoordinated in comparison. Usyk's timing, rhythm, and calculated aggression leave even seasoned fighters confused. He never rushes, yet stays a step ahead. His control of space and movement makes it nearly impossible for power-punching heavyweights to land cleanly or dictate the pace.
I did notice his foot movement. He was just moving away, so Dubois couldn't hit him. And then when he was punching Dubois, he made him look like in football terms, he made him look like a non-league player. He made him look bad.
Mate, that's the beauty of Oleksandr Usyk. He's training with his little mate Vasyl Lomachenko. They came through the pro ranks together, well, amateur and pro ranks together, and their training regimes are completely off the textbook. They don't do it like everybody else does it. There's a lot of ballet, for example, that they use. There's a lot of gymnastics. There's a lot of different techniques in their training that they incorporate into the game. You can see it with the way that he fights. He is like a brutal ballerina. His footwork is absolutely sensational. What he does, he stands in range just enough, so therefore the guy that he is fighting believes that he's going to get hit in the moment, so therefore mentally you're constantly working, and therefore you're throwing at times where he's then making you miss, and because his range control is so good, he's nicknamed the cat. He's in like a cat, and he is so accurate in what he's doing. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science. It is the art of getting hitting and not getting hit.
Lennox Lewis, widely regarded as one of the greatest heavyweights ever, recently shared his thoughts on Usyk. He said he would have welcomed the challenge of fighting Usyk, noting that no current fighter has been able to figure him out. Lennox believes he could have. That confidence coming from a legend highlights just how much respect Usyk commands. The mere fact that Lewis feels compelled to weigh in on Usyk's dominance is a strong indicator of the Ukrainian champion's growing legacy.
Couldn't catch this IFL TV. Appreciate Lennox stopping. A stunning win there for Oleksandr Usyk tonight here at Wembley. What did you make of it?
Great win. He did the right things. He did a lot of good things in the fight. I thought Daniel came out a bit too strong. You know, should have taken his time, especially the first round. And, you know, he was overreaching a little bit and he got caught.
Is there anyone on this planet, an active fighter, that can beat this man? He's got back-to-back wins or double wins over Fury, Joshua, and now Dubois. I mean, it's phenomenal coming up from cruiserweight.
It's phenomenal. I wish I was in this era to box, because I would have loved to box him. And, you know, I can't see why nobody can't figure him out. I would be able to figure him out. Oh yeah, Usyk is the best of this era. And he does the right things, he moves well, he doesn't get hit, and he's elusive, and he's hard to beat.
Lennox, just the final one. What would be your advice to Daniel Dubois? He's come back from losses before, obviously Joe Joyce, etc. But what would your advice be to this 27-year-old lion?
Keep up with boxing. You know, this shouldn't. You know, he should learn from this and bring it to the next fight. I don't think he should quit. I think he's got a long, good life in boxing.
Lennox, much appreciate your time this week. Have you got anything else you'd like to say?
Yes, Lennox Lewis is the best. I lay them all to rest. I'm the pugilist specialist. Nobody can test.
Love that. Top of the head. Thank you.
Former champion and analyst Chris Algieri gave high praise to Usyk, stating that he doesn't just win, he makes elite fighters look average. Usyk's command of distance, timing, and ring IQ, according to Algieri, puts him in a class of his own. He doesn't rely on brute strength, but instead uses strategy and finesse to outclass every opponent he faces. What makes Usyk even more admirable is the path he chose: no shortcuts, no cherry picking. From his days in the cruiserweight division to becoming unified heavyweight champion, he faced opponents at their peak. That dedication to fighting the best has earned him widespread respect across the boxing world.
Usyk has dropped Daniel Dubois!
I'm sorry, I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game.
He's missed it! It's over!
Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen Oleksandr Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for Oleksandr Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, you know, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out, and Oleksandr Usyk immediately turns to Turki Al-Sheikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up, and immediately you kind of think he was in the middle of talking about his, you know, his father. I think at the time it was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect, and I think he was disrespected there, and I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now in the first round, Oleksandr Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony Joshua.
Paulie Malignaggi, one of boxing's most respected analysts, also had high praise for Usyk after one of his stand-up performances. Known for his keen technical insights, Malignaggi called Usyk showing a masterclass in modern boxing. He highlighted Usyk's intelligent footwork, how he subtly shifts angles and adjusts his stance to dictate the pace of the fight. Opponents struggle to track his movements or land clean shots. According to Malignaggi, Usyk's ability to stay a step ahead mentally causes rivals to overreach or hesitate, creating ideal openings for counters. Rather than relying on knockout power, Usyk methodically breaks down his opponents with timing, rhythm, and spatial control. This mix of mental discipline and physical precision, Malignaggi said, is what truly separates Usyk from the rest.
Dubois in the rematch stops him early. Was it 4 or 5? I don't even. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5, and it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Oleksandr Usyk. And a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, you know, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land his jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches, but did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And you know, the wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I'm a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes the wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown pepper tantrum over the rings being too wet. So you know, I mean, back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, you know, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork. He's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and deep dives into the world of boxing. Until next time.